Hello, we're from James Videos, and we are on vacation currently, and right now we are in York, PA, and we have stumbled across the best Oddity store I have ever been in, the Dark Parlour. So let's go take a look. Come in for a bite. So in here, we've got tons and tons of real human bones. There's some human teeth. There's real human skulls here. This one I really like. That one's cool. And most of these are for sale. Not all, but most. I mean, look at all this we got. And of course, a nice little religious section. These, if you remember, are at the Oddity store in Clearwater. And then of course there's a bunch of medical supplies, because you can't have an Oddity store without surgical and medical supplies. And there's tons and tons and tons. And then there's this cool guy here who looks like a vintage Santa or something. Obviously these are great because Halloween. And you can't have an Oddity store without taxidermy. And a vintage black cat. Now there's some really cool stuff over here, such as this mummified piglets. These are really cool. Along with all these skulls, which are the cheapest price I have seen for skulls at Oddity stores, so keep that in mind. They have good prices here. You can also get yourself a shirt for the Dark Parlour, and a vampire bat skull, which I'm a huge fan of, and a big turkey. This candelabra, oh, I want it in my life. This all looks very funeral-esque over here, especially this little section, and especially this with this giant coffin, and one I really like, Civil War era transport coffin with a nice jack-o'-lantern on top. So as you can see, a lot of this is funeral stuff in this room. But what I think is the creepiest thing in this store, and a little trigger warning before I show it, are the real human organs, which are not common to see in an Oddity store, at least where we live. But there is a real human brain. This one, I think, takes the cake. Along with human kidneys, awesome little Halloween decorations thrown in the mix, human intestines, and I didn't show it up here, but a human heart, and antique medical illustrations. But one thing I love about this, ooh, Vincent Price, I didn't even notice that, Vincent Price coffee. I love Vincent Price. One thing that I love about this Oddity store is what I'm going to show you in a moment. this is what I love the most about this Oddity store, is the fact that it's more than one story, which is not common in Florida. So it may not be different for those of you who live more northern, but for us down in Florida, this is rather interesting. Especially how the upstairs is decorated, which I will show what I'm talking about in particular in a moment. We have awesome paintings here, which are very, very disturbing. The seance parlor up here, where you have a lot more shirts that you can get yourself, if you so desire. I apologize for the camera work too. I'm still figuring out this camera. I haven't used it too much ever since I got it back in Christmas. I mean, I have, but I also haven't actually recorded full-out videos like this where I walk around places since I got it, so I'm still figuring some things out. But this is one of the most interesting things here, because this is a real human skeleton called Hank the Screwhead. And if you look closely, you'll know why he's called Hank the Screwhead, because he has a screw in his head. A lot of stuff pertaining to witchcraft in this room in particular. Baphomet heads, some inverted crosses, which I'm a little iffy on. A lot of Baphomet stuff. Like this picture of Baphomet right here. Which is pretty cool. And it is 666. I don't know if you can see that. Let me switch this to manual focus and let me... The price here is $666 for, you guessed it, 666, which is creative, and it's a cheap price, so you can't go wrong with that. We got some hanging torch lights. Now, one thing I really love about this building is these. These weren't in here when the owner bought the building. She said that these are actually off of Amazon, which is pretty crazy. So I might need to buy some of those for myself. But just the decoration and thought put into this Oddity store, I think is what makes it the best one I've ever been to. Not to mention a nice eye-covered corset. What every girl needs. Now in here we have the art gallery, which I really like, especially because of this area that looks kind of like a throne for the devil. But there's a lot of cool art in here. And down here we got some tarot magnets, as well as normal tarot cards, and the owner being kind enough to give you free stickers. I really like this room because there's some really, really nice, disturbing art in here, for sure. If I were to show this whole place, it would take all day. If I were to show every single thing in here. So I'll just leave you with a preview and you can come check it out for yourself in York, Pennsylvania. I really like this artwork. Now this one is not for sale, but it is gorgeous. If creepy is gorgeous for you, which it definitely is for me. With a nice little photo op chair down there. But here, let me show you my favorite thing about this whole store. Take a look at this. Down the rabbit hole we go. This way to chaos. Just put on a happy face. That is definitely my definition of a happy face. We are all mad here, the rabbit hole. Send in the clowns and a bunch of ha ha ha. It looks like a haunted house. If I just saw pictures of this, I would not think it's an Oddity store. It looks like a haunted house. And you turn the corner and the whole aesthetic changes, yet it never loses its unsettling manner. We're just gone completely insane now that nothing makes sense anymore. There's clowns everywhere. Still some demonic stuff put in. I mean, just this place is fantastic. I mean, just the pure craftsmanship of this whole place. I mean, take a look at this with the doors oozing the paint. What a brilliant, brilliant place this is. So much stuff to see. And over here we've even got Buddy the snake, who is a ball python, and he is adorable. Now please keep in mind he tells you not to hold him, he doesn't like being held, but you can look at him through the glass and then he thanks you for being his friend. So he is a nice little python. Just tons of clown stuff. I love the lighting in here. Some nice fire and ice lights we got. And one thing that might, well, first I'm going to show that because I think that's really cool. But one thing that I think, and this is weird, but it's super cool. That's definitely some silicone used for that. But one thing I want to show, because I know a lot of you will recognize this, it's Boogeyman. It's the head of Boogeyman, which is pretty cool to see. And it definitely looks very unsettling on this mannequin here.